Hello, people. Welcome to the Foundational Infrastructure Working Group weekly meeting. Let's see what we have today. Yeah, this one was blocked because we shouldn't do this. And Justin was going to do some additional investigation. Yeah, he still needs to do an additional investigation. Can I convert this to a draft? No. No. Okay. This one, I think we had consensus on the next steps, and this now is just waiting for additional code that needs to be implemented, basically. Yeah, for this one, I think we should be possible to move ahead with this change. Just install it for the bundler from GitHub directly, but that's also still waiting for code to do that.
Hi, all.
Hi, Felix.
Hello.
We just discussed I think the previous one, Felix wanted
Oh
to
yeah, shall we
approach.
redo that? Felix, this one. I think there's consensus on how to move forward.
Yes.
Just needs to
Yeah.
be
So
done.
So I think we would provide this NetAddr 153 approach with installing from GitHub.
Yeah.
And then that would be the next step. Yes.
Yes. I think then we can just merge, right, and address these CVE, and then the other work. I don't know who's gonna do that. But yeah, we can have a discussion about that separately. Let's get the CVE fixed first. This one is also from your side, right, Felix?
Yeah, it was basically in the context of the NetAddr.
Yeah, of that. Yeah, of the symbol. Yeah. Is this being worked on?
Not right now.
Okay.
If we use the existing NetAddr topic, would this need work? So if we just stay with 15X for now, I'm not entirely
this is
sure.
This was just IPv6 issues, right?
Yeah.
During that work, it was discovered that there's like an overlap between the IPv4 and IPv6 range in like the way we store it in the database would result in the same value, so we can distinguish between the two. Basically, what's shown here. I mean, this is not a new thing. This has been in the database. It just shows that IPv6 is not used that much.
Yes. Okay. Understood. So it's definitely a bug which should be solved.
Yes. If people want to use IPv6, yes. And the context is now there, right? So I don't think it's that much work. Most of the work was to figuring out all this stuff, I guess.
Yeah, understood.
Okay. Yeah, here we're still waiting for an upstream. It's even stale. We still have nothing there. I've reached out to Benjamin, and he said he's gonna get this rebased today, so then we can start reviewing. I see that we have a review from Beham. 17 minutes ago. Okay, so we're waiting for changes, I guess.
I have some questions and will be good to have a better description what we change here. It's not we don't have everything which is changing with the
Yeah, there's more
expo-
changes than that are described in the issue, right? Or in
Correct,
the
yeah.
description. Yes.
And there are important changes and
Yeah.
yeah.
So, okay, that's good.
And I think this is
That's right.
fixing most of the stuff which Konstantin open for discussion. And I asked him in that discussion whether there is something left after this pull request is merged from.
Yeah. So you have asked that in the is the discussion linked here? Yeah.
Yes.
Related discussion.
Yeah, because it looks to me like we are approaching everything which he suggested here with the PR.
Yeah, I think he created the discussion before the PR, right?
Yeah, could be. Yeah, I don't know.
16 days ago. Yeah, this is 17 days ago. So basically, this was like a note to like his internal process or something, conversation, and then he came up
It
with
was just to add
solutions.
more logging around the connection issues, and then it evolved into more.
Yes. I think it started out with adding some logging to debug the underlying issue, and then it was like, oh, actually the logging is probably useful to keep because it's better, like it will help people in the future. And then he also implemented the solution.
Yeah.
Okay. This one
Yeah, that's
is,
it's hanging on that certificate issue.
yes, there's a certificate issue, which has to do with, it's actually not related. Is it related to 3.1?
No, it's not related to 3.1.
No, it is. It is when you like start using a newer version of Ubuntu with a newer version of OpenSSL, right? Then you end up. Then there's some unit tests that are using short keys, and Ubuntu doesn't want those anymore. So you need like to regenerate the test certificates that are used. But the problem is that one of those test certificates is a wildcard, not wildcard. It's a
it's a signed
it's a,
local host. It's a unique signed local host certificate.
It's a certificate that's signed by a trusted CA that's like trusted by a lot of operating systems, and it's valid for like still like it was valid I think for maybe 10 years or something when it was signed.
No,
and
30
it is for
years.
30 years even. Wow.
It was created.
So
in
it is still
2008.
valid. And it is for the local host, and it came from. It looks like it came from somewhere in the Ruby code base, so it was just copied over and put in here. And there's a test that is testing if the Ruby client wrapper that they are using, if it's respecting, like working with signed, like properly signed certificates and using the certificates from the operating system. So that test is failing. And there's a story in the backlog at VMware to address this. So we'll just wait for that. But merging this would break CI because of that. Yeah, and then the big one.
Yeah,
I'm currently reviewing it. I'm halfway through. Ramon, you were running it, right? Like trying to see if Biome or if Trusty still works, right? No,
yeah.
not
So
Trusty.
I wanted to
Jammy.
So I pulled this pull request, and the first thing I just wanted to try was, can I still build Jammy and bionic stem cells with this? And the answer is no. And then I started to, oh, maybe it's just one small thing. But I keep getting from one issue to another. It seems that most of these issues just reside because comes from the fact that the Red Hat stuff, specific stuff, has not been put in a separate task or an if statement block in it. So yeah, this just needs to be fixed by the.
But to be fair, like there are, like while I was reviewing, there are a lot of places where there are conditionals, right? So it's just a few things have been missed.
It's probably ones that I forgot.
But yeah, so that would be something that needs to be addressed, and then yeah. So my strategy with reviewing this is I will review all the files that are like shared between the operating systems and things that are affecting Ubuntu, but all the CentOS and RHEL things I'm not reviewing because like yeah.
Yeah, and there are comments by it. So this is only specific for Red Hat. So
yeah, and
I think it's just forgotten. It's okay.
Also, there's a few sticks that have been added, which is nice. So yeah, overall, looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's a big freaking merge. It's
lots of work. A lot of work went into that one. Since I have almost addressed the community stuff with the org automation, I will be able to pick up this work again, but I haven't done it yet because I'm still working on the community automation today. But
you did a rewrite on this, right?
Yeah, I'm working on the rewrite, but then I had to put it down because the other thing was more important at that point. But I will continue this. Here's a review from Kenneth. I asked Kenneth to review this because he has more context on GoCigar. And I've asked him offline or via Slack where that comment is that he is referring to. It's referring to an issue. I think he has not submitted this preview. So let's wait for that. And then this one came in. Oh yeah. This one, apparently there was some internal discussion. There were things wrong in it. And Konstantin just needs to respond. There were problems with the helper script.
Yeah, there's stuff in there that already is in the agent.
Yeah. So this one just needs an. I will ping Konstantin.
So when you will be able to execute the script, you need to SSH into the VM and then execute the script and then debug. Okay.
Yeah, that's the idea of like if you want to do like, I don't know, want to make sure that you can reach nets, right? If you not have any other networking problems, right, you could execute that script to
okay, I see.
Perform diagnostics there.
There's also an option to enable debug on the metrics endpoint of NUTS or something. Would this be now a problem if someone would enable it and hook up a Telegraph collecting these things, for example? Or is it then a different port? And
this is something you run from the stem cell.
Yeah, this is.
We have. I think what you're talking about, Felix, is running on the director, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, this is totally different.
Okay.
But the director itself is also I think there's some logic in that agent thing for like if the NAS is on localhost or something. There, because otherwise it wouldn't work with the director, right? Because the director needs to be able to connect to NAS itself.
There is no logic, but they are blocking only the port where the NAS. So they will block the outgoing connections.
Oh, only outgoing. Yeah, a localhost is not outgoing. Something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, I've just got a sign.
Right at the end, we still have this open discussion to think through what this means for if people use host names, right? Then this mechanism doesn't work as effective. Was that an open question?
We have this stem cell already. So this is already in the agent and it's running, so
I know.
we have. Yeah.
I know, but just let me know it, like we can discuss it offline. Like you had questions if domain name is used, the lockdown mechanism is not as effective or might not work if the IP changes or stuff like that.
But the change which Konstantin is doing will, so to say, remove the cache and then try to reconnect and reapply the hardening.
Yes.
So he is doing something which makes the agent more resilient, and the changes are applied without a restart, so to say, on the agent.
Okay.
Yeah, we can talk about this, Felix.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this in pending review. Okay. Let's go over the open issues. So the last time we looked at this, it's different. This one. No, this was the 21 first. I know that person.
Finally, I opened that solution.
Oh wait, another person in the community has that issue. Oh, it's a really important issue. Look at it.
Yeah, so we had a very big and critical situation on our side during an S3 migration. So the problem is the retry mechanism we introduced is basically retrying when accessing or connecting to the blob store fails. And accessing the blob store happens in different actions in that BOSH agent. And sync BOSH DNS is a synchronous action. And this, so in our scenario, we had certificate issues and it was always like blocking for 15 seconds now because we had a retry of 3 times 5 seconds. And for async actions, this probably is absolute no issue, but for synchronous actions, it is or can be. And now the question is how we could improve that. One use case, for example, is for certificate errors, it probably doesn't make sense to retry at all because we were trying to retry. So the problem we had was like that we got end of file errors or the handshake failed towards S3 and AWS was not able to help here at all. So retry was mostly solving this for us, but with the certificate issue, it was, it was totally blocked. Agents got unresponsive because of the sync DNS broadcasting, basically, which during an update happens quite frequently because many instances change. And then the agent would just disappear 15 seconds every time.
That sounds not so good.
Yeah.
But I mean, like this, the whole change was also came from you all, right?
Yes, yes. So first step is make the situation transparent, then
Yeah.
think how we can improve or solve it. I think if no one has a misconfigured blob store configuration, it's not becoming an issue because then you don't have retries all the time, right? So I don't think it's a critical issue, but it might be an issue for some people, especially if they misconfigure something, and then it's hard to figure out what's going wrong because you see the errors only in the agent logs. No one has easy access to the agent logs. Yeah, things like that.
But why is sync DNS why is sync DNS a synchronous task?
That we don't know either. Yeah, so that's one of the questions. Could it be just an async task? Yeah,
Because
So-
I mean, like, why would it block the rest of the process? Like, that doesn't make sense. Does it?
We don't know, but yeah, maybe IP changes are important. I don't know.
I mean, like, it's broadcast, like it's initiated by a message that you like receive over a message bus. So I don't know. I think it's a bit weird.
Yeah, the easiest solution could be to make this async, and I think most other operations which access the blob store are async operations already. So you observed only issues with sync DNS calls.
Yeah, and I don't know. It requires probably some more digging to figure out why that was done. Maybe there's context around where that was done, or maybe it was done. But I mean, it shouldn't be that expensive to make it asynchronous. As in, like, there's helper functions, like there's synchronous tasks and asynchronous tasks. So it's like, it's probably not done as a shortcut. But I don't know.
Yeah. So doing the change seems very simple. It's just returning, changing a Boolean return value. I'm just not sure what other implications it would have.
Yes, it's difficult. Yeah, I would do some probably some Git blaming, trying to find the original stories, see if there's any context there.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely would spend a little more time here. I just don't know. I don't think it's urgent. Are we on the same page? Or would we consider this a critical bug right now? That would be interesting to know.
You don't run, this is probably only when you run an external blob store. Probably. Yeah.
So it's independent where the blob store run. It's a problem if your configuration is broken and it fails all the time. Only then it's an issue. That's why I don't think it just happens on the landscape, but only if you mess with configuration.
Or S3 is unavailable, has an outage.
Yeah, or something like this. Yeah. So if S3 is gone, then it would also be a problem.
Yeah, and because of that the agent is unresponsive, it will direct you in the wrong. It will point you into the wrong direction of why this problem exists. And
which is why we investigated 2 hours with 2 weeks with 5 people.
yeah.
Wow. That sounds intense. Yeah, we haven't had reports about this. It's good to have this, like, just having this context, right? That it's now like a known issue makes it probably easier to like, if it happens, right, then people can we have this public context now, which should make it easier to debug. which I think takes some of the urgency out of it. But I would assume that you all want like do some more digging and come up with a solution.
Yes,
future.
absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't make it critical, given the information that we have now. Let's continue. Wait, this is basically in which stage? I don't know. It's basically open for contribution, right?
Yes. Just still, and it was actually solved. And then I close this. Yeah, it's not issues. Issue. Yeah, this one is still being discussed internally. VMware. Yeah, we're working on that. Oh, I had a note to self. Nice. Well, I will keep this open so I don't forget. We have here. This is still this is still being bumped. Nice. Yes, that was the one we just discussed. This is all older. Also older. Okay, I think we're done. Are there any wrong file? Are there any other topics people want to discuss?
I wanted just to ask about on the Postgres release. There's
oh yeah, why is that not on the
there's-
board? That's interesting.
I don't know. I think people are waiting for the new version of the bump. It looks,
Yeah.
I think, good now.
Okay, then I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna add it to the board. I don't know why it's not there. Just gonna add item. Does this work?
This project. Is this
Doesn't
post? Do
work.
you have a tab for Postgres?
Oh wait, it's just in a different. It's here.
Oh,
Probably.
database. Ah, yeah, on the right, you see. Pending merge.
This one. This is the one.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So this will just be a manual thing, and I need to figure out where the CI lives for this.
Yeah, yeah.
So pipeline.
Here's a create final release task.
There's a concourse. It's not that promising. The service unavailable. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe it makes sense to try to move this pipe or recreate this pipeline in the barci.cloudfoundry.org concourse instance.
Yeah, I don't know how you deploy it. You probably test and deploy it on vSphere now, so you probably need to.
Is it on vSphere?
GCP.
I don't know. This was IBM doing this, so I don't know what they.
I don't know what the tasks are.
There.
They do a deployment, so. Oh, it's on a specific director.
Bosch params.
Softworks and
Soft layer. Yes.
Awesome. Well, good luck with transferring the pipeline.
Thanks. I might as well. Maybe I'm just gonna do a manual release. Maybe. I don't know.
So the last release was in 2020, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Anything else?
Just a small thing, the Azure CPI latest release doesn't have any release notes. I'm not sure, it's probably a manual process, right?
Yeah, probably. Let me check. Make notes.
So 39 is missing.
I see. Where releases? There was a tag. No, there's not even a tag. Ah, yes, here, this one. Okay. Respond by CI. Okay, yeah, I will ping someone.
Thanks.
Okay. That's it. Okay. Talk to you all later.
Okay.
See you.
see you.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye bye.